Week 10. I just got done watching some of the 1 o'clock games. We are at halftime of the 4 o'clock games, and I'm going to be talking about an NFL team tier list. We have our Super Bowl tier, our playoff locks tier, our wildcard hopeful tiers, our should be taking for your quarterback tier, or just taking for your opposition, and our front office has completely screwed your franchise tier. Alright, so let's get started. Starting with Tennessee Titans here. They're playoff locks. They've been struggling, but they'll find a stride. They keep finding a way to win games. Their point differential doesn't look great, but they've been in the playoffs. They're comfortably winning the division. New York Jets dragging the wild card hopeful tier. Pleasant surprise so far this season. Cleveland Browns, tough loss today, but they're wild card hopefuls. Once they get Watson back, they can maybe make a run. Cincinnati Bengals, although I'm not a big fan of them, I don't think they're going to win a Super Bowl. Like I said earlier, they're still Super Bowl tier. They just made it there last year. They're contending for that division right now. You could argue that they're playoff locks, but we'll throw them in the Super Bowl tier to get that tier started. Jacksonville Jaguars, tough loss today, but they're wild card hopefuls because they're not really tanking for a quarterback, so they're going to keep fighting and try to get in the playoffs, although I doubt it. Detroit Lions win today against the Bears, but they should be taking for the quarterback. Jared Goff is not the guy. If I was a Lions fans, I'd be wanting C.J. Stroud. Miami Dolphins, they are playoff locks. This team is good when healthy. We'll see what they can do in the playoffs, see if they can maybe make a run. They're not quite Super Bowl tier yet. Minnesota Vikings, great win today, but they're still playoff locks. They're not quite that Super Bowl tier. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, even though they've struggled so far, you got to throw them in the Super Bowl tier. They do have Tom Brady, and they are Super Bowl contenders. San Francisco Giants, so 49ers, I'm going to put them in wild card hopeful tier. I don't think they're that good of a team. They've struggled, but their division is available to take it. Atlanta Falcons should be taking for a quarterback. No debates there. Baltimore Ravens, playoff locks. I think they're still number 2 in the division to Cincinnati, but they've had a good season so far. Chicago Bears, tough loss today. That would really have put them in the wildcard hopeful tier more, but they are wildcard hopefuls. Justin Fields has been amazing and very exciting to watch so far this season. Dallas Cowboys are a playoff lock. They're the second best team in that division. They'll easily make it to the playoffs. They still have some games against the weaker teams in the conference, and they're currently tied with the Packers as I'm making this video. Texans, they need to be taken for a quarterback. No questions there. Colts, front office has screwed you. Jeff Saturday is your coach. I don't think I need to say much more. Same with the Rams. Thought they were going to be contenders again, but no draft picks. Too much money spent on a team, and it's not their year. They might be able to surprise us next year and turn the thing around, but this year, you're screwed, and I don't believe they have their first-round pick this season. Vegas, same thing. Josh McDaniels is a terrible head coach. Front office has screwed you. Chargers, right now they're kind of in the wild card tier, but I think they're playoff locks. I think they're a really talented team, and they could maybe pull off an upset in the playoffs. Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl tier. I think everybody knows that. Washington, they are wild card hopefuls. I don't think they're going to get there, but I think they're right around 500 so far. That's what they'll be. Giants have turned themselves into playoff locks. I would have said they're wild card hopefuls before, but they just keep winning, so they're going to the playoffs. Saints, it's tough between these two tiers. You could say wild card, but I don't really think so. I think they should be taken for a quarterback because I just don't think they're that good, especially without having Sean Payton to turn your season around. They don't really have a great head coach anymore, so I'm gonna have to say that they need a franchise quarterback, which they don't have. Philadelphia Eagles, gotta move them up to that Super Bowl tier. They're elite. They're 8-0 for a reason. Pittsburgh Steelers is tough because they're kind of just tanking, but I wouldn't say for a quarterback, so I'm just gonna throw them here, but not as necessarily for a quarterback. They just need to be healthy. T.J. Watt going back, help them beat the Saints. They could maybe make a run for the wild card, but I just don't see it. I think they'd be better off tanking and getting maybe I'd probably say a real number 1 receiver that they could get in the draft this year. There's a lot of those available. Denver Broncos, clear. Front office has completely screwed you guys. Same with the Green Bay Packers. Your front office has also screwed you guys over. Easier to see. We got the Carolina Panthers. Next up, I think they should be tanking for a quarterback. I want to see what Matt Corral can do, so maybe not tanking for a quarterback, but they're between tanking for a quarterback and front office is screwed you because front office has done a terrible job there. The Matt Rule era was a complete failure. Let's get another Super Bowl team in there. We got the Buffalo Bills. No questions asked. Tough loss today, but everybody knows they're a Super Bowl caliber team. As much as I hate to say it as a Dolphins fan, Bills are a good team. Seattle Seahawks, this is a confusing one. This season, they're definitely going to be wild card hopefuls. But as far as the future of them, that franchise goes, who knows if Geno Smith is their guy, how long he can keep his magic run going on, and if they can become a real threat with that team. But they got a lot of picks. It'll be interesting what they do in the future. New England Patriots, they are wild card hopefuls. They, I think, are doing better than they expected this season. If you told them Mac Jones was injured, I don't think they'd expect to be at the record they're at. They had a nice win against the Jets, easy win against the Colts, and they're definitely in the thick of things in the AFC, more so than teams like the Jaguars and the Browns are. And our last team, the Cardinals, they are struggling right now, but they might be able to get a win against the Rams here with Colt McCoy in, and I definitely saw putting them as wild card hopefuls. If I were to organize this, you could put the Patriots ahead of the Browns and the Jags, Cardinals ahead of the Washington and the Bears, but I think this is a fairly accurate tier list. Let me know. See our Super Bowl teams. Those are definitely teams that make Super Bowl playoff locks. You could maybe move some of them up. I'd see mainly these three here: Dolphins, Vikings, and Ravens. You could maybe move up. Play wild card hopefuls. You could maybe move some of them up as we see some more wins from them. They get them where they're comfortably in the playoffs. But it's tough because you got the Bills and the Dolphins up here, and then you got the Jets and the Patriots. So you obviously know you can't really get 4 teams from the same division in the playoffs. So someone's got to miss, and that's what makes making this list hard, because you got to think about it like that. But as far as the teams go, got a lot of good teams in this group here, and it's going to be really fun to watch the end of the season when we see these teams fighting. And some of the teams down here aren't the teams that we expected to be down here, and we still know that they have talented rosters. So maybe these teams, can come in and play spoiler against these teams when they're trying to clinch playoff berths, stuff like that. It's going to be really fun to watch the rest of the NFL season. Let me know what you guys think of this tier list.